Hey Geeks, what's going on? My name is Bran and welcome back to the Geek XP and welcome back finally to Shimada Brothers Boot Camp. We're going to change it up a little bit for this episode. I found that for me personally, it's very difficult to go through an entire game just playing as Hanzo or Genji, as I like to win, and I often find that with my low skill level with these characters as of right now, usually I feel like I'm the one holding the team back, so I end up switching. So, while I may inevitably change it back to the format before where I would live record my games with those characters, I find it's better for me to enjoy the game and to come up with better games in general where I'm playing these characters if I play them as often as I can. And if I can stick through an entire game, all the better. But if I can play some decent gameplay of them, then I can both show where I'm using it correctly and then point out the moments where I feel like I need to change. Because that's a big part in this game. It's not just sticking down one character. It's changing based on the scenario. So I've got a game and a half for this episode with Genji. So let's jump into it, and I'll just sort of commentate as the games go on. Alright, so jumping into this game where I'm on attack on Hanamura. Even choosing Genji with this team composition wasn't great, but let's see what I'm doing. So I'm moving around this side. Try to do what I can here. So here I see a Genji, I'm engaging, and right there, right off the bat, I make a mistake, and I started my deflect too early, I think, going into that Bastion. I needed it a second later so I could get as much damage out on him as possible. I think he knew to wait anyway, because he seemed to pause there, but I heard him and activated the deflect before I was getting shot at. So, gonna move back onto the point now. They have a Widowmaker, so my priority is going to be, you know, get on the Bastion if I can, and then also jump on the Widowmaker and get her off of her little perch, wherever that might be. Just as a little disclaimer, finish off that Genji there. He's got, like, no health. This isn't even, like, these aren't stellar games for me as Genji, but I am not, like, complete trash, like, where I sometimes am. I don't even, like, do that much damage, really. Like, I'm just, like, picking people off. Like, people are weak. I go in, since I'm mobile and can do some damage, I'm good at sort of getting to where they are and dealing damage. So, fortunately, my team is doing a great job of staying alive and softening up targets for me. And we'll see where it starts to fall apart as we move on to point B. This game, I end up having to switch off, and we'll cut away once that happens. But here, actually, I have to do a decent job of getting my hits off on the Genji, getting behind him so I can set up a nice fan. I find I have a bad habit of using the fan when I'm too far away because I'm afraid of missing with the straight shot. So now the enemy team has gone like almost all Torbjorn and Bastion, and they end up switching a little bit, but Torbjorn being a predominant part of their competition makes it difficult for me because the turrets can track me. I lose the advantage of being a super mobile character when the turrets auto-track me and can just do consistent damage. I can deflect some of that damage, but it's rarely enough that within the, it's like 2 seconds of deflect, 2 or 3 seconds that deflect is active, that I can do enough damage to destroy a turret. But here I'm doing a good job, I think, of keeping in mind health pack positions and keep making surviving my top priority. Keeping people busy, keeping them focused on me, but really our team needs to be able to push past the turrets, and I end up switching to Reinhardt to try to help out. I don't think we end up winning in the end. The team doesn't really support the Reinhardt cover, so the whole game sort of like falls apart. There are too many like harassment units and not enough frontline and damage mitigation characters. But they're like, see, poking damage, poke, 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 and then when the moment is right, when the damage is low enough, swift strike in and then move again. And here I'm trying to do the same thing, but the turret's got a decent range on it, and they keep molten coring. So this is where the Genji play really starts to fade off. And I think after I try to get my Dragon Blade out, but end up failing spectacularly as I try to pick off these turrets, trying to find a good angle to pop in and out of. I don't even know if I get my Dragon Blade off. I feel like I must, because I get picked off here. Yeah, as I'm trying to get away. Get picked off by the Torbjorn. No fun. So here I can see that the team desperately needs someone like a Reinhardt to hold the shield. So even with my Dragon's Blade, I felt like I wasn't going to be doing much and was just going to end up feeding ultimate to the other team. So this is a moment when you want to switch. Genji can do some work on turrets, you know, poke them here and there, but when there's that many, he really isn't effective. So let's skip ahead to another game where a little bit more consistent gameplay. Alright, so we're jumping into this second game that where we're on attack again, this time on Hollywood, and while, again, I'm not doing super stellar Genji, I'm not like doing like the carry godlike Genji that some people can pull off masterfully, but I make some mistakes and I'll point those out where I make mistakes. Here I come up with one. So here, there's a bunch of them, I deflect, Zarya has her beam, and instead of going right over that edge where the turret can't hit me or the Hanzo can't hit me, I jump up in the air, where I should have just fallen off the edge so that I would be immediately behind the cover, because if I had dropped down, I could have gotten away, grabbed the health pack in that little building, and been scot-free to get away to the point. So that was a little mistake. Seeing that big group of people, I probably should have just like bounced, and that was sort of like their mistake. They were all grouped up too far forward, so it was really easy to get past. Here, you can see again, I'm using the fan way too far away from people. The damage does not work that well if I'm that far away. But I'm doing this, I hear the Bastion, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Genji's great for dealing with Bastion, so I prioritize him, get in front, deflect. Cool. So what I'm trying to do better is with Genji, and I do it decently well in this match, is go in, deal damage, run away. Especially if the match is looking, if the combat's looking unfavorable. So, tank by yourself, sure, I'll do some damage. Throw the fan out, get up close. See the Hanzo, try to get in. Oop, low on health, run out. And there, like, I'm dealing some damage, but there's like two of them all grouped up. I'm gonna bounce. So I leave, get the health. Oh, I see a Bastion. Hi there. But you're not my big target. You're not on the point, so I'm not gonna try to duel you one-on-one. And here I make another mistake. I wanted to dash in the building, but dashed up there, and I cannot take both of those guys, especially when one of them is ultimating and his friends jump in. So I should have dashed back into the building below the turret, so that would have been better. Something to keep in mind is to be wary of those turrets, unless I can get them from far away and just pick at them. And here, I think I wanted to hit deflect right off the bat to try to deflect the Bastion ultimate. It actually worked out well there, where I managed to like somehow manage to survive. I get picked off by the Hanzo though. That would have been awesome if I got that kill. He just kind of shoots out a little, like an arrow, barely pulls it back and manages to just pick me off. I've got like no health left. But I actually managed to get a decent amount of kills with that Dragon Blade, which I'm happy about. I did a much better job that time of using the dash, like every time I got a kill, to like keep myself hard to pin down and hard to hit, which is huge for that, because every time I get a kill, I get cooldown resets. So that was awesome. And they're just throwing out some damage. Might as well. No damage fall off, no arc. Might as well just sort of like stay on the payload as it's moving, do some damage. And here, I try to deflect the flashbang, but he actually hits it just off to the side of me and misses my deflect. But my idea was to deflect. I saw the McCree's like, oh, I'm going to bait the flashbang and deflect it. That'd be pretty cool. Here, just moving around, trying to find people off on their own, deal some damage, keep people busy, which is, when I've been harassed heavily by a Genji, that they get around and they bother us, and then we have to like chase them. Here, any damage I'm dealing to them and they have to come after me gives the payload time to keep moving forward. So that was a good example of me poking some damage and then quickly fleeing, which is what I'm supposed to do. They're like not going to engage in the frontline fight, but I'm going to try to swing in the back. And here I'm like, oh god, I'm in a bad nest, and I miss all my fans. Try deflecting, don't deflect anything, and then get wasted by the Zen. Sort of shameful. I thought I could duel him, and I was wrong. I was so wrong. He was much better than me. He managed to get the Discord Orb and a nice headshot, and that's all he really needs. And I had already used my deflect. I was sort of stuck in a weird spot where my deflect had been used, I was reloading, and I was missing all my my Shuriken fans, because I'm a scrub. But here, I'm going to wait a little bit. If I go out to try to flank them, it's just going to be me. There's no frontline battle for me to use as a distraction. But right now, my targets are the Mercy, the Hanzo, the Zenyatta, if I can catch him unawares. I do have to be careful though, because that Discord Orb makes me literally just a piece of paper. There's me trying to get on top of the Hanzo. Fortunately, my teammates are doing a great job of getting the kills as well. Right now, my focus is just to stay alive and be distracting, which is there, like, get damaged, run away. And here I actually do a cool thing where I Dragon Blade, kill someone, and go right for the health pack. So slash, grab health, keep alive, dash. And unfortunately, as I attack the Zarya, I end up I end up getting dragged into that ultimate. But I did deflect a bullet back at the turret, which was kind of nice. And then the Zen got me again. But I did a decent job of keeping the enemy busy, dealing some damage, and keeping them occupied while staying alive for as long as possible, so I'm happy about that. It was definitely a step in the right direction in terms of my Genji play, and I even think I get a victory card here for my number of Dragon Blade kills, which I'm happy about. Those are actually some of my better Dragon Blades that I've had in all my Genji games. So I hope you guys enjoyed me sort of analyzing one of my Genji matches. Hopefully I will get even better with time, and you guys will get better from watching me learn and make my own mistakes. You guys have been awarded some Geek XP. I'll catch you all next time, but until then, stay geeky, my friends.